You can think of any other mammal out there, none of them has the stigma that bats have. And we can talk about tigers, about pandas, they're cute and they're great, but when we talk about animals that are misunderstood, yet some of the most important mammals to humans, their ecosystem services, whether they're pollinating flowers, dispersing seeds, or eating insects, no other mammals compare to what bats do on a daily basis. At Lubee, we have 11 different species of bats. 2 of those are native bats who had injuries that they couldn't be released back in the wild. We are not a rescue and rehabilitation facility. We are an accredited member of the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. That being said, if there are bats out there that need a forever home, we will bring in some of those animals. So we do have 2 species of native bats, but the rest of our bats are the big old world fruit bats and flying fox. And those type of bats need to be outdoors, they need sun. So we have them in very large flight enclosures where they get their sunlight, they interact with their friends, they have their toys, they get their food and all sorts of things like that. We do have bat houses on property with wild bats in them, between 3,000 and 5,000, but those are wild, they can do whatever they want. But then we have the bats at Lubee, 11 different species, 2 of those are native Florida species, and then the other ones are your old world fruit bats, including the large flying foxes. So we do educational tours and private tours. We work with public, private, homeschool, religious scouts. It doesn't matter. People come to Lubee Bat Conservancy for educational tours.
In total, we only have 10 full-time staff here at Lubee. It's a really small team, but we work really well together in making sure that these animals have great lives and also participating in conservation stuff, outreaches, and all that cool stuff. We have a pretty small keeper staff here, so we are all really hands-on. Not only do we participate in general welfare stuff, but we'll also help participate in vet stuff sometimes too, including annual exams and just in general making sure the bats are happy and healthy. We'll also prepare their food, which is like a cool fruit salad mix, but the most important part is making sure that the bats are happy and healthy here at Lubee. We have about 170 animals, roughly 165 of them are all bats. We have the 2 sulcata tortoises, Mr. Bubbles and Ned. We also have 2 skinks, and we have a corn snake and a Virginia possum, Pumpernickel.
There was a study done by the U.S. Geological Survey in 2011 that showed bats in the United States save farmers between $3 and $53 billion a year annually by reducing the need for pesticides and by eating crop pests. A lot of the agricultural crops we consume are dependent on bats, whether it's mangoes or papayas or bananas or even the agave plant where we get tequila. Bats are needed to pollinate these flowers or disperse the seeds. So from an environmental, from an ecosystem, from an economical and agricultural standpoint, humans need bats.
My favorite part of the job is building relationships with these animals. A lot of people don't really give bats the credit that they deserve, especially these fruit bats. They need to be intelligent and have great working memories to help them know what fruit's good to eat, what trees do they need to hit up. So bats are incredibly intelligent. It's great to learn all of their personalities. They're all super distinct. We have really inquisitive bats. Getting to know them, especially as the social media coordinator, I get to spend a lot of time with them, getting videos, pictures, all that good stuff. And learning which bats even enjoy the camera and which ones don't is super fun. It's a really rewarding experience.
In 1990, the original bats were brought to Lubee. That included Malayan flying foxes, 3 male and then 9 female. And with the 3 males that were brought in, there was King, who was the largest bat I've ever worked with. He had a wingspan well over 5.5 feet. There was Arthur, and then there was a bat named Big Red. Originally, King was kept in a large enclosure with Arthur and a bunch of females. He'd kind of bully and chase Arthur around. Arthur was low on the totem pole, but there were a lot of pups that came out of that. So after years, they looked at the genetics and found out that Arthur sired every single one of those babies that came out. We now have Arthur on display. We're talking about his life and why he was important to us. So I absolutely love that whenever people come out to Lubee, they come into our office and they're greeted by Tracy, our wonderful programs and events coordinator, or myself or the staff, that he is one of the first bats that you will see. And it is his skeleton all laid out. And people get an opportunity to see what a bat's skeleton looks like.
Not only do we have our 10 full-time staff, but we have amazing interns and volunteers that come on out to help us get through all of the day-to-day stuff. When I was an intern here, I got to do a whole lot of hands-on stuff, really learning about the bats. It's really great to earn experience like working with these animals as well. I can't thank our interns and volunteers enough with how much they help us around here. It gives me the time to do social media, and it gives the other keepers the time to work on their things too. So, love them.
Bat Fest is our largest event of the year. It always takes place right around the 3rd week of October, but it's always on the Gators bye week. It's just a one-day event, and last year we had about 110 vendors. We had a whole food garden area. We had a live band. We have a beer garden. We had 10 breweries from Lake City over to High Springs, Gainesville, and down to Alachua. They're fantastic. They come out and they donate their beer, and it really helps for us to raise funds, which BatFest is our largest fundraiser of the year. It is a family-friendly event. We have something from everybody. We have obviously the bats. That's the draw that people get to see, and they get to walk down the corridor. They get to see the bats interacting with each other, playing with toys, enrichments, but the main attraction is going to be the bats. We have a Facebook page now, Instagram, Twitter, but our biggest is TikTok. And it's the statements that say, I used to hate bats, but now I think they're adorable. Your page has changed my mind. So if we can have that kind of an impact with people all over the world, then we're really moving our mission forward. And that's to save bats in their habitats, to research conservation education with a focus on children and community engagement. So if people want to learn more about Lubee Bat Conservancy, whether it's our programs, scheduling a tour, BatFest, or even our animals here, they can go to our website, which is www.lubee.org. And if they want to learn more about us and make a donation and really help our organization to thrive and to move forward, we encourage them to please go to our website, Lubee, Lubee.org, or they can follow us on social media, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. People are interested in volunteering or being an intern at Lubee, which we always are taking both of them. They can learn more on our website, again, www.lubee.org, and we have somebody specifically dedicated to volunteers and interns, and she'd be happy to welcome anybody on board.